Previously on GEARZ.
Time to have a little bit of a chat about motor cars. So let's try and make our way down to Cape Town, get hold of Steve Smith. Hey, Steve, nice haircut, my brother.
Thanks, Sasha.
See, I noticed that, Daisy.
Weather we have here.
Did you notice the haircut? Hey, Daisy?
Yes, I did.
Looking, yeah, oh no, it's got a bit fresh down in Cape Town. The other day it was like 30 degrees. Uh-oh.
At least it froze and he was smiling.
Okay.
Can you see me?
I can see you. Everything looks very good at the moment. Now, Steve, because Daisy's so excited over here because we are doing, we're talking about heavy, high-powered vehicles.
Well, no, you wouldn't say so by looking at them.
Tell us about these little gems that you found.
Well, maybe she should tell us about does size count, because that's the issue we're talking about here, really, isn't it?
Daisy, does size count?
I unfortunately can't answer that.
Why?
Because... Oh, in the car. I don't know. Guys, this is awkward. Stop it. Please talk.
Why?
Because I can't answer if size counts or not.
We are asking you, that's a simple question that is coming in from Steve Smith.
Size is very important.
Is it very important?
Wow,
Very.
put that on the record.
Yeah. Going to put that on our highlight show. Daisy came on and she said, Daisy said size does count.
Size does count. Well, under normal circumstances, I would probably agree with her. From an automotive perspective, obviously, I wouldn't know the other stuff. So automotively speaking, it's something you would normally say, but there's a new generation of engines that have come along that I think have proven to us that it's not what you have, it's what you do with it, which might be a quality that you also appreciate. So yeah, these engines have been great. I mean, it really started off, I think, with the VW 1.4 turbo a couple of years back, but now Renault and Ford probably have taken that a step further.
Okay.
So, firstly, I'll talk about the Clio 4, which I drove at the launch last week. Fantastic little car. Really, really blew my socks off, I've got to say.
I must tell you,
900cc engine.
Yep.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I must say, I've always been a fan of this car. Always.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't say I've always been a fan of its looks. I've appreciated it. I mean, certainly the RS models have been, they've set the benchmark for that sort of B segment sports hatch. Nothing's come close to touching the Clio RS Sport. But for the first time, I really like the way this car looks. The Clio 4 it's a little bit longer, it's lower, it's wider. It's a lot more macho than the car was before. I really like Renault's new corporate front nose,
yes,
which I think this car is the first one we'll see with in South Africa. I really like it. I think it's quite a masculine-looking car. It's got sort of muscular shoulders at the back. So for the first time, the Clio is really looking like a car that I think many men would probably think I can drive this. So from a looks point of view, fantastic.
I like that. I like that. Sounds good.
Yeah, look, I think it was voted one of the recently top most 3 beautiful cars in the world. It's a European Car of the Year finalist, best production car at the recent Paris Motor Show. But that's Paris and France, so that's probably going to go without saying. But it is really a good-looking car. But that's not the best thing about it, though, which is really the thing that really excited me was this new little 900cc turbo engine that comes with. It's phenomenal power output. 66 kilowatts from this little motor. It's a little 3-cylinder turbo motor.
Gee whiz.
I tell you, Sasha, this is really an instance of where Formula One technology is really making a difference in terms of everyday car use.
Incredible.
So it's not so much the KERS system or that kind of stuff, but it's how Renault have learned to work with a turbocharger to reduce friction in the engine, to manage sort of airflow through the engine in the cylinder chambers, and have come out with this little 3-cylinder 900cc dynamite. Really cool little car. Also, the other cool thing about this engine is it's got a really flat torque curve. So you've got the power available to you from sort of as little as 2,000 RPM. The curve flattens out there and continues to 4.5. So you've got this power available quite low down, and it's sustainable. So you're not working the gearbox so much. Really impressive, I've got to say.
Wow. Okay. Tell us about the next one.
Well, next one was the Fiesta, Ford Fiesta EcoBoost. Oh, I didn't tell you the other thing about this little Renault, is that its price.
Oh, yeah?
But well, let's talk about the price, and I'll tell you about how much the Fiesta costs. So
Okay.
that's the interesting thing about these two cars. Okay, so the Fiesta, what are we looking at? A 1 liter turbo. Now, this thing puts out 92 kilowatts.
No way.
Really, yeah, 92 kilowatts, neck snapping energy power. It feels like a really potent 1.6.
Jeez.
Again, very flat torque curve, so you're not working the gearbox too much. Yeah, it's an impressive car, impressively fast, impressive fuel economy, and Ford are quoting 4.3 liters per 100 kilometer. Look, I don't know anyone driving this car is going to get close to that, because you want to put your foot down. You get so excited about driving this. So, but even then, you're probably looking at 7 liters, and that's not bad. So it kind of ticks all the boxes there. I don't know if you like, this Fiesta is also the new cosmetic makeover of the range, and I don't know whether you like it or not. I don't know. I think I'm still a fan of the slightly older look. This new one looks a bit like an Aston Martin grafted on the front. It's got that same kind of a grille.
I was just about it. I was going to say, is this the one that looks like the Aston Martin that's that everyone's talking about?
Yeah, it's got a very distinctive Aston Martin-like grille on the front. So it's kind of a very deep grille. It's got those kind of chrome slats across it. I don't know. I've always been a fan of Fiesta. Maybe I'm a little bit retro in my taste here, but I like the one before. But yeah, both cars really high spec. The Renault especially, it's got everything that you'd expect in a premium small hatch, as has the Fiesta, except the big price difference. You're looking at $231,000 for the top spec Fiesta, and that's a lot of money for a little car, I think.
Wow, that's a lot.
When people see that, they start to think, yeah, that's a little pricey. But then, we look at the little Renault, and their top spec one is $179,900. So we're looking at $180K.
That's a huge difference.
That seems to look like that's what are we looking at there? 50,000.
Yeah.
50,000 rand. The Renault starting to look like the bargain of the decade, actually.
Geez, I must tell you, I'm really excited to drive actually both of them, but more specifically the Clio.
Yeah, the Clio is the one difference between the two I noticed is the Clio is a lot more refined. The engine is smoother. It feels like an easier car to drive in a way. The Ford is a little bit more dynamic in its handling, I think. Mm-hmm. And the engine has got a really interesting sound. I mean, it almost feels like you've got a little miniature V8 underneath the hood there. It's got this little grumble, a little growl. There's a vibration that you feel right up through the pedals and through the seat. It's quite cool, actually. I mean, it just feels much more dynamic.
Sure.
But whether you want to fork out that amount of extra cash for that, I'm not sure. And I think the Renault is a much better looking car, to be honest.
Listen, those are sound like two phenomenal cars, Steve. I really am. I'm definitely going to take both of those out for a drive and give you my opinions on them as well.
Yeah, I think anybody who drives both of these is going to be completely surprised and a little bit blown away about what these cars can do from a performance point of view. It's the future of motoring, I think. If you're looking at the internal combustion engine, these little petrol engines are deeply impressive.
Sure. Terrific stuff. Well, listen, I'm glad we managed to get hold of you. I'm sorry it took so long, but always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend.
Good to speak, yeah.
Yeah, and we will catch up with you again next week.
Will do, pleasure.
All right, thanks, Steve. All the best, eh? Ciao.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Beautiful.
GEARZ with Sasha Martinengo on bulls.co.za.